Right, and to that interview that we had promised you, of course, we witnessed some ugly scenes in Mombasa earlier this afternoon when the police laid a siege on the mosque, believing that there was some activity that was going on there. And to just give us perspective on this and to discuss radicalization in the country, we have Dr. Abdallah Kheir, who's an imam and lecturer at the Kenyatta University. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much.
Radicalization is what the police, are battling with every day, and they fear that there was a jihad conference that was basically recruiting people. Let's talk about this problem of radicalization of young men and women in this country.
Well, thank you very much first for inviting me to this your wonderful studio. To me, radicalization is not a new phenomenon on earth. It has been there, it is still there. And it's not only with the Muslims. There are Christians who are radical, capitalists who are radical, communists who are radical, and so on and so forth. So it is a sort of an ideology which has entered into many communities today.
Right, and like you say...
allow me, please. Today, what is happening, for example, in Central Africa, that is very hurting. Those are Muslims being killed by Christians. Those Christians, I believe, they're also radical Christians. But the thing which I don't really like it is when you zero down when it comes to the issue of extremism and radicalization to be an Islamic perspective.
Okay, all right. Noted and understood. But what leads a young person to that point, for whatever religion or whatever belief? What is the problem exactly that leads young people, and specifically in this country and at the coast, to be vulnerable to such extremist thoughts and beliefs?
There are so many things which lead to radicalization, especially along the coastal region. There are historical injustice which has been there since independence. There is a breakdown between the youth and the scholars. There is poverty also, which is another cause. There is also an ideology. When you are in poverty, a person can come with an ideology and put it into your mind. Because you are badly in need of money, sustenance, you may accept any ideology. I remember, in fact, a few days ago, I think yesterday and before yesterday, BBC were talking about the youth in Africa. The number of the youth in Africa is very high. Not here in Kenya, not in Uganda, in the whole of Africa. But unfortunately, the most suffering people today in Africa are the youth. They are not really treated the way they are supposed to be treated. They are not given opportunity for jobs. They are not given their rights. And now, when you are idle, anybody can come and pick you and take you anywhere. So, to me, I think there are so many factors which has contributed to that. Among them is poverty, historical injustices.
Yes, unemployment could be one of those.
Exactly.
When you take a look at then the response to this radicalization process, obviously it's not something we can solve in one day. And, the police laying a siege at the Masjid Musa Mosque, believing that there was some sort of recruitment going on. If you were to sit down and advise the policymakers and advise the police, what's the best way to handle this problem?
In fact, to me, I feel very sad the action which was taken by the police entering into the mosque with shoes. A mosque is a place of worship, and you cannot correct a mistake by another mistake. When a person does a mistake, you should find a way of handling. Now, what has happened, I believe the police knew before it happened, because these people are human beings, they are youth, they are Kenyans, and I knew, in fact, they have been putting this in the internet, spreading the news that they're going to conduct a lecture. What I know, it was a lecture, or lectures, okay? You cannot recruit people in the mosque. See? And let us assume, for the sake of argument, if that has happened, where are they going to be taken? Who are there at our borders to take care? Where are those people who are at our borders to take care of our country? So to me, I don't think that is a genuine reason to justify the policemen to enter into the mosque and start kicking people, doing what they did, To me, I really don't agree with that.
Okay, all right, and we thank you for your time. And this is indeed something that we will be discussing over a long period of time and getting insights on just how to be able to sort out this issue. We thank you so much for your time this evening. We've been speaking to Sheikh Abdallah Kheir, who's a lecturer and scholar, and he's at the Kenyatta University talking about the crisis that we saw in Mombasa earlier this afternoon. Let's